You believe a doctor was careless and caused you harm, and now you're contemplating bringing a lawsuit against that doctor. And you want to know, why do most medical malpractice cases settle before they ever get to trial? You want to know the answer? Come join me as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. So now the reality is that the majority of medical malpractice cases in New York actually settle prior to trial. And there are many different reasons why that might occur. Typically what will happen is the defense will make a business decision about whether or not it's worthwhile to proceed to trial. You, the injured victim, will make a business decision about whether or not it's worthwhile to proceed to trial. And together, these fluid dynamics come together to reach an agreement, or if an agreement cannot be reached, now the case will proceed to trial and a jury will ultimately have to decide the facts of the case and determine whether we have shown that we are more likely right than wrong, that a doctor violated the basic standards of medical care, and now they have to evaluate the true extent of your injuries and place a value on that. So now, many times the defense, the insurance company, the attorneys for the doctors do not want a jury of people in our community to place a value on those particular injuries. They don't want a doctor to have to go through an entire trial, be subjected to everything publicly, and now ultimately come to a conclusion that if he is responsible, here's how much we're going to compensate this injured victim. Why? Because the jury could give a significant amount of money to the injured victim. On the other hand, they could compensate the injured victim a small amount. They could give him what they're asking for. But the reality is that nobody knows exactly what a jury is going to do. If the parties cannot reach a mutual agreement about the true value of the case, then obviously the case has to go to trial and a jury will ultimately decide how much the case is worth. So the bottom line is, will it get to trial? The answer will depend on the facts of the case. The answer will depend on whether or not the treatment rendered was medically appropriate. The answer will depend on the extent of your injuries and how much you are asking for in an effort to try and negotiate this matter. All of those things will be taken into account to determine whether or not the case actually gets to trial. But statistics show here in New York that the majority, meaning 2/3 of those cases that are brought, are resolved before ever getting to trial. And here's the other statistic you need to know about. Of those cases that do go to trial, the majority of those cases are actually won by the doctor. How do you like that? You know, I recognize you've got questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if you're contemplating bringing a lawsuit for improper medical care that you received here in New York and you've got questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a fantastic day.